Elphelt's Command Normal 3, the heavy slash follow-up after heavy slash, used to knock the opponent back, meaning that it basically was served only as like a means to get a bit of a tumble knockdown that wasn't really workable in combos. Now the opponent is staggered, and thus Elphelt is able to get some new follow-ups after it. You're going to have to experiment around and find out what new combos are available, adding this extra normal in that could possibly increase Elphelt's overall damage in certain confirming situations. After that buff, there is a considerable nerf. Elphelt used to be here I go, chain lollipop, the dispenser machine, constantly putting the opponent into endless situations where they had to guess between high and low, and she could simply loop this over and over again if the opponent didn't have a defensive response to it. Arc System Works has now limited how many follow-ups she gets after using Here I Go, forcing her to use 2 follow-ups, meaning that there is a finite number of attacks with highs and lows that she can go for. It's still a strong mix-up, but it's not endlessly looping as it was before, and I think it was a change that needed to happen. There was a buff to Here I Go's up high follow-up where there is a lower hitbox to it, but you'll need a viewer to really appreciate it. Like everyone else, her ability to overdrive PRC has been nerfed, requiring her to have 100% tension gauge, and there is one more change to her other super, Bonbonniere, which previously, if you just used it raw like this on the ground, the opponent would be pushed back and you wouldn't be able to combo off of it, thus limiting its utility. Now, the opponent is actually put into a knockdown state, so no longer do you need the corner in order to use this, you could drop it on them in mid-screen and use it for Oki. As compensation for that particular buff, there was a nerf to it, as previously the opponent was pretty much stuck with the bomb, and if they hit Elphelt, well, the bomb was going to tick down. But now there's a little bit of a mini game here where the opponent wants to get aggressive and hit Elphelt, because if they do, the bombs disappear. A lot of people have said that Elphelt is dead after this patch, and I think that the annoying Elphelt is dead after this patch. And if that's what was keeping Elphelt, like, playable, then the character doesn't deserve to exist in the state that she was before. Let me try to explain. Chain Lollipop was a strong mix-up tool. I mean, unreactable high-low off of the Rekka series that looped endlessly into itself. You could just constantly put an opponent that didn't know or didn't have resources like Tension Gauge to RC out of it or to fight back, or didn't have an invincible reversal that was meterless to bust out of it at a given point. Like, it was a toxically designed move that only had annoying implications for the gameplay itself. Alpha players could just, roll their face on a keyboard and just mix you, and you had to just guess. And that wasn't a healthy game design. So I'm happy to see that part of Elphelt's kit get nerfed to the point where it's still an effective mix-up tool. You go into it, and then the opponent has to guess high or low the one time, and then you end your pressure after it instead of endlessly cycling it. I think that's a healthy way to have the character be designed. And with her in this state now, if Arc System Works was scared of buffing her before, think about it, right? If she was able to win neutral more easily and get in close to you, then that just meant that it was easier for her to go into endless high-low mix-ups against you, etc., etc. But now that that's not the case, they can balance around this new limitation to her and strengthen her in other ways in future patches, and we're already seeing a couple of those sort of changes here with the change to the Command Normal 3, giving her some new combo routing, adding a little more damage off of some of her pokes from heavy, as well as the changes to Bonbonniere. Now, of course, the hit stun state does mean that there's a win opportunity for the player to basically punish Elphelt for investing her meter into it, but she's going to get strong enough Oki after it anyway that she already has a high enough advantage to it, and now this sort of incentivizes the opponent to try and bust out with a reversal to catch Elphelt in order to get rid of the bombs. But this also gives Elphelt a reason to bait a reversal in the first place. I think it's going to be a really cool mind game that does, again, nerf the character a little bit, but it does it in an interesting way that promotes interaction between the two players, which I always think is a healthy thing for a fighting game to have. Elphelt, I think, does hurt a little bit from the system mechanic changes to Red Wild Assault, where she's no longer able to convert some of her pokes into Red Wild Assault pressure and go into chain lollipop mix-ups, but that's, fine. I don't think that was really what made the whole character, and if she is truly weak bottom tier, as some people have made her out to be in this patch, well then she didn't deserve to be as good as she was before, because the reasons that she would have been good were toxic, unfun, and unhealthy. So I'm pretty happy with these changes to Elphelt. I hope that more buffs do come for her in the future. I'm not sure what I would ask for, but I think that she's going to be in a healthier, more fun state, not only to play, but to fight against going forward, and I'm excited to see what the future holds for her. She's got a couple of new toys to play with in this patch, so it'd be fun to see what people are making of the compensation stuff for her, but honestly, I'm glad that they have removed some of the more annoying traits in her kit.